Good afternoon, fellow entrepreneurs, SSC family. I'm Sharitha Gordon, and today, guess what? I bring you something new, right? I want to talk to you today about it takes work. I've come across tons of entrepreneurs, whether I've been counseling them, whether I've been their consultant or their business coach, or just having plain old, good old conversation. And I found that there's a false understanding of the work. Yep, the WORK, work, part of business ventures, right? So it could be that we are totally blinded by the passion or the excitement, the vision of what we're going to bring to the world. But the part that I can't believe that we really don't think about is the work. There's a work that's a big part of the entrepreneurship. I mean, a big part. Yes, there's work. I can hear you right now screaming, Sharitha, I know about the work, the physical work. We all know about the physical work. Well, I'm here to tell you, I'm not talking about that work. I'm talking about the mental work, the work that most don't want to do, that most don't understand, the mental work. The sit down with you and yourself, you, yourself, and I, or sit down with your team and discuss, the business planning, the vision, the direction, the money, the strategy. What are we going to do? How are we going to do it? When are we going to do it? This is the mental work that most entrepreneurs don't want to discuss. They don't want to do. And I get it. It's kind of like when you were a kid, you didn't want to do the dishes, but that was just part of the chores. Well, this is a part of the chores of being an entrepreneur. Okay, so hear me. I heard so many entrepreneurs say to me, Sharitha, I don't have time for that. I don't have time to talk to you. I don't have time to listen to you. I don't have time to sit down with you right now. Just go and do it, come up with a plan and give it to me. Well, it doesn't really work that way. Why? Because your vision, your mind has to be included. Mm, I get it. So what am I saying? I'm saying, well, if you don't do the actual mental work, you'll get or and cause a mess that someone will have to clean up. And that someone will be you. So that brings me to this. It takes work, right? The mental work shows up in several places in the entrepreneurial journey. Are you working in your business? Or are you working on your business? I'm going to ask that question again because my question to you is, do you do the mental work? Do you work in the business or work on the business? There's a difference. It's not just vision and passion, it's work. It takes work. I want you to think about two questions, right? I know I've asked you other questions, right? So keep them in your mind, write them down. My question to you is, do you do the mental work? Are you working in your business or on your business? But the other question I want you to consider, or I should say the equation I want you to consider, is the next two I'm going to talk about. One is the tools plus work equals automation. There's tools. There's a lot of tools out there, from CRMs to accounting to AI, every type of tool you can think of, from anything dealing with your business. There's a tool that can help you maximize time, maximize energy, get you faster and better, get you more productive. But even with that tool, there is work. I get it. You're like, nah, I don't have to do work. Yes, you do. What am I saying? I'm saying that even with the tools that you buy for your business or incorporate in your business, there's a work that you have to do. And that work has to do with the back end of that tool. That work has to do with what you're expecting that tool to accomplish for you. And you're putting in the information to get out an actual productivity from this tool. Now, some of you are thinking, Sharitha, I use AI. I don't have to do anything. Yes, you do. You have to put in the right question. You have to put in the right information to get the AI to produce what you're actually looking for. So it will take the action of your mind. And if it's not your mind, it'll be someone else's mind. But at the end of the day, there's a work that has to be done. So I'm for tools. I'm about maximizing every tool you can use. I really think tools are a great asset to any business owner that's willing to put in the time to sketch out the strategy on how that tool is going to be used, to sketch out what they want that tool to do for them, and to actually take the time, the mental work and time it takes to sit down and build the back end of that tool. Whether they do it from themselves or do it with a team, the bottom line is someone has to do the work. And if you don't do the work, the tool is just a tool. Think about it. You have forks in your kitchen, and if I don't use the fork, it's still a fork. I have a car, which is a tool to get me somewhere where I want to go. But if I don't get in, crank it up, back up, and drive away, it's just the car. So the tools ultimately are just tools. And I get it. The internet make you think that the tool is going to do all the work for you. And we all want to go from 1 to 100 quickly. But unfortunately, all you can do is have a tool, but without the work, you don't have anything. So what I'm saying is a tool plus work equals automation. And automation can help you maximize your time and maximize your energy. But you still have to do the work. So all tools come with a learning component. And guess what that means? That means that you will have to actually learn something. So now that brings me to the other part of what I'm going to talk to you today about. Well, I want to talk to you about the next thing I want you to really think about. Learning plus thinking plus execution leads to success. And I can hear you saying leads to success. Wait a minute. Well, the reason I say lead to success, because we actually can learn, but not think and not execute. We can think, but not learn and not execute. We can execute and didn't think or learn anything. We can learn and think and not execute. I'm going to run that back for you again, because we've all done this, including me. We've taken a course and learned, and we didn't think about anything we were learning. And so we didn't execute on what we learned. We put all this money and time into this, but never executed on it. We've thought about things over and over again, going over and over in our mind. We thought about how we're going to make it beautiful. We've learned, but we didn't learn how to do it, and we didn't execute on it. And then we've executed, went out and bought the building, went out and bought the tools, went out and got the website, went out and bought the equipment. But we didn't even learn what we needed or when we needed it. We didn't learn what we need to do with it and when. We didn't learn what phase of business am I in, should I do that? We didn't think about the strategy of how to use it to make sure it's going to make me money. We didn't think about what the customers wanted or what they need. We just executed. And then we've all learned something and thought about it and was like, yes, this is good, and didn't execute for whatever reason. Fear, people, money, whatever the reason might be, we still did not execute. So we've all been there, including me. But I'm saying to you, listen, if you don't learn and you don't think and you don't execute, how's it going to lead to success? I just want you to think about that. Because if you gather all this information and you don't think about the information and you don't execute on the information, what do we have? A bunch of information. And we don't want that, right? So your success is actually in your hand, and it's defined by you. What I'm saying is that there's a mental work that comes with this journey, and deciding to put in the mental work each time it is required will give you the wisdom to make decisions and move in your business. We need wisdom. We need to move forward. We need to be on that journey, getting exactly what we want. Why? Because we're going to put in the work. Come on, SSC family. We can put in this work. This is a mental journey. I get it. We all feel like, hey, I'm an entrepreneur and I can do this, and I have passion, I have drive. But if you don't put in that mental work, that's all you have is passion and drive. And whether you think you're putting in mental work or not, you are. Every day you get up, you have to think about that business. And you're either going to be, like my first question, working in the business or working on the business, right? So I get it. Social media makes everything, I call it the green screen, makes everything look easy. It's like in Hollywood when we watch a movie, right? The movie stars are doing all these great, amazing stunts and things. And because we're looking at the movie and we're looking at how we're thinking about how they're doing it, we don't really understand though what it takes to make that movie. And for those of you that are in movies and have made them, you do. But for us that have not, we don't. But I've had the privilege to sit behind the backside of that and sit in California inside the making of different shows. And they tell us when to clap and they tell us what to do and they tell us how to dress. So it's a green screen. Nothing's real. Everything is produced and production. So your business is like that. Whatever you don't put in, you won't get out. So even though social media gives you this whole 1, 2, 3, you're there, 1, 2, 3, you're a millionaire. Well, it doesn't quite work like that. There's an aspect that's easy, and then there's tons of aspects that are not. So understanding that there will be learning, thinking, and execution is important to the growth of your business. Understanding that it takes work, and how much of that work you're willing to do or hire for someone else to do for you is really up to you. Now, I've said all that, but I want to leave you with a little encouragement, right? Because there is some encouragement here. And the fact is, we perish because of a lack of knowledge. So I'm encouraging you, yes, gain some knowledge in what you're doing. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, but in all our getting, get understanding. So get the wisdom you need to run that business, to attack the world with the thing you say you want to give to the earth. But in all of their getting and all that knowledge you're collecting, make sure you get a clear understanding. And just remember that the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the ability to produce wealth. God gives us the ability to produce wealth. So all of us are not lacking any ability to produce wealth. We all can be as wealthy as we want, financially, physically, mentally, and spiritually. But it's up to us to gain the knowledge, to gain the wisdom and the understanding so that we can stand in the place that God has already given us and have the ability to gain the wealth that we're seeking. So in all that you're doing, make sure that you learn, you think, and you execute, because without that, there is no production. So until next time, enjoy your journey. Every step leads to your destiny, so make every step strategic. I'll see you guys later. Love you, Strategic Step family, and thank you for watching my videos. Until next time.